Hey, it's David Levin from Wise Brother Radio and Pop Goes the Culture, and today we are talking to a man that you know from TV. He's been on The Drew Carey Show. He was in Napoleon Dynamite. He was a guest on The Office. He was in Beverly Hillbillies. And now he is in American Housewife on ABC. Of course, I'm talking about Diedrich Bader. Diedrich, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here and have an opportunity to talk about American Housewife.
Yes, tell me about American Housewife. Now, you're going into the third season now, and it sounds like you're having a great time.
Oh, totally. It's the best job I've ever had. I just love working with Katie Mixon, and my part, Greg Otto, he's just a funny, sweet guy, and I really love doing it every day. He is as close to me as any character I've ever played. So it's a little like falling off a horse. I just have to remember my lines. It's really genuinely fun.
That's great. How did you get involved with it? Were you sort of cast from the beginning? Did you sort of come into it later? I
was not cast from the beginning. They had a hard time finding Greg Otto, my part. They had already cast Katie. She's the lead of the show, so that's a good place to start.
Right.
They had already cast Katie, and they were looking around. I think there were 9 different tests. In other words, they brought in 9 different set of actors. I don't think that they really wanted to go as old as they went with me, because I'm significantly older than Katie. I'm 15 or 17 years older than something.
But you don't look it. But guys always get away with that, don't we?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's totally crazy. I don't know. And they spray paint my head every day, so I look a lot younger. Lots and lots of spackle and makeup and special effects. They make dragons on HBO, but they make Diedrich Bader look good on ABC.
This major special effects.
Sure, huge.
Tell me a little bit about the show from the perspective of what the premise of the show.
So it's about Katie Otto and her family, and they moved to Westport, Connecticut for the schools. Her husband is a teacher at a local university and thus does not make a tremendous amount of money and can't really afford to live in Westport, but they've got a really good deal on their house, and they are significantly less income savvy than the rest of their neighbors, and so they're always looked down on and feel judged because they are judged all the time.
Right.
And Katie is a plus size gal living in a size 0 world, so she always feels like the women are looking at her, and they are. So she's got a really sparky sense of humor and a great perspective. And it's kind of about that, how she's able to raise her family in an environment that is different from the way that she would want to. It's sort of a materialistic world, and she's trying to navigate that world with her kids and her family and keep everything intact.
Anything interesting? Anything new that's going to be coming up this season? Is it?
So Katie has got a new job and a new boss. Played by Kelly Ripa, and so she's trying to balance the old conundrum, like can a woman have it all, basically, have a career and be able to take care of her kids and feel good about herself, and that she's doing something right, and often is the case because women are so hard on themselves. Of course, they're hard on each other too, but
right.
Very hard on themselves. She always feels like she's inadequate to the task. Like every mother feels, like they're trying to this balance act of taking care of the family and also bringing home the bacon. It's a tough thing to do, and so this year is kind of about that, about Katie trying to find that happy ground.
I was listening to you do another interview earlier, and it seems like you're the hardest working man in show business these days. I've read that you love doing cartoon voices. Is that true?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's really, really fun. I mean, if it paid as much, it's all I'd ever do. But I enjoy every element of it. It's like playing. You go in and you get to play 3 characters, and generally you get to work with really, really talented actors. So sometimes you go in alone as well, so that's the difference. But for the vast majority of time, you get to go in and read with other actors, and it's really fun. It's like doing an old radio play or something.
Right.
And it's all talent-based. The people are really, really talented and really fun and really nice. So it's a good, supportive, sweet world, and I'm just very lucky to be in it.
How cool was it to play Batman?
Oh, totally cool. And I get to play Batman in the new Harlequin.
Is that true?
Show. Yeah.
Harley
Yeah,
Quinn.
so I get to reprise my Batman.
Harley
Put
Quinn
the cowl back on, so I'm
You're-
super excited about that.
You're in very good company as Batmans go.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kevin Conroy is probably my favorite as far as animated.
He was a
Batman.
really good Batman, and I heard you were a big Adam West fan at one point.
Oh, totally. I was when I was a kid. I thought Batman was really fun and funny, and also I liked the action. I just thought it was a great show. But then I got the chance. My first series was kind of a two-parter. It was called Danger Theater. So there was one part that was the Searcher, that was my part, and then there was the other part was Adam West.
Right.
And I forget the name of his part, but anyway, I got to meet him, and it was like a dream come true. And he was just very sweet, really lovely guy. I don't know if you ever knew anybody that ever knew Adam West, but he was a very nice guy.
So I've heard.
So yeah, that was kind of a dream come true. I got to work with Adam West, and then on Miss Congeniality too, I got to work with William Shatner. So those were two like people that I respected when I was a kid.
Two major
respected
icons who actually worked together on Adam West's last thing. They did a Batman cartoon together. Where,
oh yeah.
Where I think Adam was reprising his role as Batman. They were sort of doing the Batman '66 thing, and William Shatner was playing Two-Face. Who was
that's hilarious.
So it was the last thing Adam West did. So you've also done a lot of you did Napoleon Dynamite, which was an iconic film, started out as a cult. Tell me about that. I heard that you originally weren't your agent wasn't so excited about you doing that.
Yeah, my agent really kind of tried to talk me out of it because there was no money. I wasn't paid very much at all, and that's kind of what they're about. Also, there was no guarantee of distribution. These guys were 22, 23 years old. And so no track record at all, and largely out of Brigham Young University. It was going to shoot in southern Idaho in this tiny little town, and he was like, "It's not worth your time." And turns out it sure was. That film, like a huge cult film, and a really fun part too. I'm just delighted that I read it. Still to this day, the funniest script I've ever read.
So you're doing a lot of right now. You're playing a kind of a down to earth guy in a sort of a normal universe, but you've also played kind of some way over the top characters. Everyone from Oswald to Jethro and Jethrine. Can you talk about the differences between sort of those wild parts versus how you approach playing a part on American Housewife?
Well, it's a lot easier to be on American Housewife than to do any of those parts, because when you play a really broad character, and in my opinion anyway, in order for it to work, you have to do all the backstory stuff, and you have to think why this character would say this at this exact second, and how they would say it, and why is he moving this way, and why is he doing all of that. All of that work that you do in order to substantiate kind of a broad character is thrown out with doing Greg Otto, because he is so close to myself that I just show up with my lines memorized, and I just feel like I am the character, he is me, and so there's a nice relationship there. It's very, very easy for me. A lot of the stuff that I've talked about in my life has shown up on the show, and we have these fantastic showrunners that every time I talk to them, something ends up on screen. They captured my odd rhythm of speaking, and they captured my way. Lots of character stuff that I do. Unfortunately, I correct people, and Greg does that a lot too.
That's awesome. For an actor to get to the point where he is reflective of the character and the character is reflective of him, it's sort of like blurring the lines in a way.
Oh, totally blurring the lines, and yeah, it's a great opportunity for me to show what I'm really like, and hopefully people like him. So far, so good.
And of the stuff that you did before this, what do you miss the most in terms of other shows you've done or other characters you've played?
Oh, I would say this is definitely the best part I've ever had, but I really loved doing Oswald on the Drew Carey Show.
Great show.
Because the actors were really great, and it was like doing a play every week, and genuinely fun.
Yeah.
Ryan Stiles is as close to a genius as I've ever met, and so it was a delight to work with him every week. And once the audiences got to be fun, like in the second and third year, it was really fun to do as a play, because they were all in. They loved it. They loved when we messed up. They loved when we didn't mess up. They they just were happy to be there, and to have an appreciative audience like that is just a great. And also the hours were amazing. We worked basically 3 hours a day.
Yeah, that's hard work.
It's hard work. So I was lucky because I got to do voiceovers before I got to the Drew Carey Show and voiceovers after I left the run through. So I would work all day, but my commitment to the Drew Carey Show was 3 hours. So it was really amazing for me.
Diedrich, thanks for coming on and talking to me today. Once again, American Housewife, and it's on Wednesday nights on
8:30 on ABC.
8:30 on ABC. We'll be watching. Thank you, Diedrich.
Thanks.